The aim of this video is to very briefly just explain what psychophysical harmony is, because from what I can see, many people misunderstand it. I will not get into whether theism best explains it, as Cutter and Crummett would have it. My aim is just to clarify what the concept is. So, psychophysical harmony deals with the question, why are psychological states rationally aligned with our physical states and behavior? Why do organisms typically respond rationally to their subjective experiences? How come our phenomenal states justify our behavior? Another way to put it, if we live in a universe where the behavior of objects is governed by the mathematical laws of nature, why should behavior associated with conscious states be rationally aligned at all? Why should pain, for example, cause the rationally appropriate behavior of avoidance? To illustrate this, I like to use an example that it's about, imagine a world in which every mental state was some shade of the color pink. So when I pull my hand away from a hot stove, I see a particular shade of pink, and when I express love for my children, I see some other shade of pink, and so on. So every behavior is linked to some shade of pink. Now, the point is, if that was the case, we wouldn't say that my conscious experience of different shades of pink rationally explains my behavior. There's no justifiable rational account of why perceiving a particular shade of pink should correspond to a particular behavior. But we do live in a universe where our psychological states are rationally aligned with the behavior. So it is rational for me to pull my hand away from a hot stove when I feel or experience pain. It makes sense. There's a rational correspondence between my mental state and my behavior. We could give a rational account of it. But in the universe where I only see shades of pink, there wouldn't be such a rational alignment. And that's the key word to understand psychophysical harmony, rational alignment. Now, many people who don't understand psychophysical harmony believe that evolution answers this alignment, this harmony. But it doesn't, because any evolutionary explanation of the character of conscious experience already presupposes an explanation of psychophysical harmony. So, for example, natural selection would favor our feeling pain when the body is damaged only if the experience leads to a rationally appropriate response. But that in itself already presupposes a rational alignment between consciousness and behavior. And that's the very thing we try to explain using evolution. The very thing we were trying to explain through evolution. So in short, any evolutionary explanation already presupposes a solution to the psychophysical harmony problem and therefore cannot explain it without circularity. And finally, there are two types of harmony here that Crummett and Cutter talk about in their paper. So they talk about hedonic harmony, and they also talk about semantic harmony. But we don't need to get into that, because the aim of this video is for you to just grasp what the problem is and to realize that it is actually a problem for everyone, maybe except someone that denies the hard problem of consciousness altogether, like an analytic functionalist or something like that. And that's it. I hope you now better understand what psychophysical harmony is and why it is a problem.